Hello and welcome to Buff Sports Live. I'm Vinay Simlat.
I'm Lena Takahashi. We have a wonderful weather behind us and a great show for you planned today. Vinay, there was a big game yesterday, wasn't there?
Yes, there was the Oregon State game, but even better, your weekend last weekend. What'd you do?
I actually interviewed Carol Callan, and we'll have that coming up later in the show.
But first, we want to get to that basketball game from last night. It's the Buffs taking on the Oregon State Beavers in the second round of the Pac-12 tournament. And we start things off with Colorado finding the open man. That's McKinley Wright shooting the three. I didn't know he could shoot those. And then the other way, Dalen Kuntz gets the steal, takes it all the way coast to coast and slams it with his left hand. I think he's right-handed. The Buffs just start piling it on. Here's another three-pointer by Shane Gatling. He finished with 15 points. Then it becomes the Alex Strading show. Wait, who? Alex Strading? Who's that? He gets a nice rebound, the assist to Gatling, and then the pick and roll with McKinley Wright coming up next. Alex Strading finished with 10 points. That's his career high. The Buffaloes lead by as many as 21 in the first half. We go to the second half, and here come the Beavers. Tress Tinkle. We don't like him in Boulder. Ethan Thompson after that, another three-pointer off the dribble. And Tad does not look very happy. Look at him, angry. Let's slow it down. See it again. Oh, Tad's pissed. And then Tress Tinkle again. Another three-pointer. Then the alley-oop to Kelly. Buffs lead down to 6. Tad's angry again. Look at that. But here comes the Buffaloes. They respond. Deshaun Schwartz with the layup. And then the big man, Evan Batty. He gets fouled. He makes the layup. He's going to the line. He makes that free throw, and we'll finish it off with another three-pointer from Deshaun Schwartz. The Buffaloes win. They hold Oregon State to just 69 points. Nice. The leading scorer, McKinley Wright. Evan Batty adds 9 rebounds.
Before that game against Oregon State, the Buffaloes played the Cal Bears in what is hopefully the ugliest game you'll see at the tournament this week. Now, the CUI's Justin Guerrero is in Las Vegas with the story. Justin?
Justin Guerrero alongside Scott McDonald. The Buffaloes fresh off a 56-51 victory against the Cal Golden Bears in the opening round of the Pac-12 Conference Tournament. The Buffaloes escaping this one with a victory. 23 turnovers for the Buffs, but luckily defense was there to bail them out.
Lena.
I agree. So as much as they did turn the ball over, they quickly got it back. Again, Colorado had been one of the best rebounding teams in the Pac-12, probably in the entire nation. Third in the Pac-12, I believe. They got 40 rebounds today compared to 19 on Cal's side. So while they were giving it up, they were getting it back just as quick, which I think was a big difference maker in today's game.
Pretty uncharacteristic performance from Tyler Baylor as well, Scott. I mean, we've been so ingrained with him just being a double-double machine. Bay finished with 11 boards and 8 points, but there's more to the story than that. He really struggled on this one, huh? As
much as he does lead the team in a lot of good stats, as you mentioned, the 11 rebounds led the team. He does that a lot, often in many of the games that CU has played. He also led in the turnovers, providing 7 of those 23 to Cal.
Well, luckily for the Buffs, the rest of the squad was there to bail out Bay. McKinley Wright led all participants in this game with 18 points. Buffs got a good one from Deshaun Schwartz as well, who scored 11, 9 of which came in the second half. And how about Dalen Kuntz, the Buffs freshman, really stepping it up in this one. Back-to-back steals translated to back-to-back dunks that really gave the Buffs an edge as the first half dwindled down. Now, the Buffs led by as much as 9 points in the first half, had a lead of 10 in the second, yet this one really went down to the wire with the Buffs biting their fingernails on the sidelines until the final score read 56-51 in favor of Colorado.
And with the wins against Cal and Oregon State, the Buffs are in the Final Four for the Pac-12 tournament. They'll play the first-seeded Washington Huskies tonight at 7 p.m.
That's right, and on the other side of the bracket, the Oregon Ducks upset the third-ranked Utah Utes. The Utes play the second-seeded Arizona State Sun Devils right after the Buffs game.
And finally, the Pac-12 championship will be tomorrow. Maybe the Buffs will be in it at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. You can watch that on ESPN.
To tell you more on the Buffaloes matchup tonight with the Washington Huskies, here's Colin Brown.
Hi, I'm Colin Bailey with Buff Banner and an update on the Pac-12 tournament. The Buffaloes stampede through Vegas continues today as the 5th seed Buffs take on the 1st seed Washington Huskies. It's been two very different seasons for these teams. The Buffs started slow and have gone scorching hot down the stretch, while the Huskies didn't lose their first Pac-12 game until February 23rd. And the Huskies are no joke, as they've emerged to the top of the Pac-12 this season with the help of a trifecta of award winners. Jalen Knoll and Matisse Thybulle each respectively won Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year, while head coach Mike Hopkins received Coach of the Year. CU dropped both of their games against Washington this season, but optimism is high over here at BuffSports Live. Momentum is everything in college sports, and the Buffs are certainly riding that wave. Now, if you're in Vegas, get off the slot machines and head over to the T-Mobile Arena for a 7 p.m. Mountain Time tip-off, or catch the game on Pac-12 networks. It's win or go home, and I'm certainly not ready to see our Buffs return home quite yet. So I'll leave you with one last message before I go pick up chips for the watch party. Skol Buffs, back to you.
Yeah, that was my fault.
Coach Mel Tucker had his first press conference of the spring on Wednesday. Tucker announced that inside linebackers coach Ross Els would also be the special teams coach. The Buffaloes are in the final few weeks of their 9-week strength and conditioning program. They'll start spring practices next Wednesday, still in the morning, like in previous years, and on March 22nd. The practice will be open to the media. The spring game is set for April 22nd at noon, and it'll be on the Pac-12 network. And if you remember, the spring game last year was on this weekend, so that's a pretty big change.
As you might know, an 8-year-old $25 million college admission scandal was uncovered this week. Multiple coaches from 3 Pac-12 schools were involved: USC, UCLA, and Stanford. Now, from USC, 2 former women's soccer coaches and the women's water polo coach were indicted, and they received more money than all of them was Senior Associate Athletic Director Donna Heinel. That's why for this week's trivia question, we ask you, how much money did USC's Associate Athletic Director receive, according to the LA Times? We'll have that answer for you at the end of the show. Wow, they're running a real clean, tight ship over at USC, huh?
Real clean, real clean.
From that USC cheating scandal, recruiting scandal to this?
It's pretty rough. It's not something that you want in your university at all.
But coming up, we've got Lena's interview with Carol Callan.
It's a good one. Stay tuned.
An artist, I'm not, but I am the voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, and you're watching BuffSports Live.
Please record in Mike and Q talent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic up on 2. All right, take 1. And fade camera 2. Take 3. Ready, red. Roll red. Take cam 1. Take red. Take it. Come on, roll red. Let's go. All right.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just calling the show.
There's no show.
The women's tennis team won their first game against a top 30 team in more than 10 years. They beat 28th ranked Washington State 4-3. The Buffaloes stayed strong top to bottom and had a 2-set victory over the number 2 singles team. The women's tennis team plays this Saturday at 2 p.m. in Fort Collins against CSU for the final non-conference competition of the season. It's going to be an exciting one.
Over the weekend, CU had a great showing at the Track and Field Championships. All 5 CU athletes had top 20 showings. McKenna Morley placed top 7 in both the women's 3,000 and 5,000 meter finals, while Joe Klecker placed top 3 in both men's 3,000 and 5,000 finals. That was good enough for the women's team to finish 33rd place overall, and the men's team placed 16th overall. CU also had numerous All-American honors, including 5 first-team honors.
Miranda Stinson was named the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week for the second time of the season. Congratulations. The senior had a total of 14 points in the 2 wins last week. Stinson started off the weekend with 4 goals, 2 assists, and 6 points during their game against Stanford. Congratulations, Stinson.
Stinson and the lacrosse team will stay at home for the next 4 games against USC, Arizona State, Oregon, and Denver. Colorado's game against USC that was set for today has been moved to tomorrow at 11 a.m. They'll still be playing Arizona State on Sunday, so it'll be a quick turnaround. Colorado's ranked 23rd in the country. They're just 3-3, 2-0 in the Pac-12.
And we turn to a member of the Colorado Buffaloes family who's been honored.
Yeah, Carol Callan has been recognized as a Naismith Outstanding Contributor to women's basketball. It was named after the creator of basketball. That's pretty big.
It's huge. It's a huge honor, and she joined some pretty spectacular company, including Pat Summit, Nancy Lieberman, and Cheryl Miller. And we had a chance to catch up with Callan. Take a look.
When Carol Callan isn't calling Buffalo's games, she's the women's basketball national team director.
Now she's been honored as a Naismith Outstanding Contributor for women's basketball, presented to those who have made outstanding contributions and created long-lasting positive impacts on the game of basketball.
It's nice to be recognized for that. I think in our jobs, we're behind the scenes people. That's what USA Basketball is about. We know that the athletes and coaches are out front, so it's a little bit embarrassing to receive an award, to get the attention, but it really makes me feel good, especially when you look at the people that have received the award.
Callan's career started right here in Boulder, first as the assistant principal and athletic director at Fairview High School.
Then she moved to Colorado Springs, serving as the high school representative to the USA Basketball Player Selection Committee. Before the 1996 season, she was named the USA Basketball Women's National Team Director. Under Callan, the team went 52-0 in FIBA competition. Some say it was the 1996 team that made women's basketball popular in the U.S. and was responsible for the creation of the WNBA.
It was the right time. UConn had come off of an undefeated season. ESPN was in Connecticut. There was a lot of East Coast media attention to UConn and the women's game in general.
The WNBA began in the same year as the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, where the women's basketball team won their first gold medal in 8 years and proved women's basketball could sell in the U.S. Callan's efforts to make women's basketball more popular in the U.S. have trickled down, with younger age groups feeling the impact.
We want to be a part of developing the game at young ages, getting more kids to play, recognizing that there are more opportunities for girls these days, so it's okay if they choose not to play basketball, just so they do something. But we'd love for them to be in several sports. I think everybody would say that, and then perhaps basketball becomes what they want to do.
After more than 20 years at the helm, Callan continues to expand the reach of women's basketball, doing what she loves.
My favorite thing is being around the people that I get to be around. They're the best at what they do. They're the best coaches, the best athletes. I get to watch them be successful and learn from that.
Congratulations again, Carol Callan. It really was such a joy to speak with her.
Yeah, I know. You had a great interview, and I mean, Seal Berry said that she has shaped the direction of women's basketball for many years, since at least 1996 when she took over at the Olympic Committee.
That's right, and I mean, viewership overall in women's basketball has increased, so I think it's a big deal.
Carol had an interesting take on that, because we asked her, what's the difference between men's and women's basketball? Why are the viewers so different? She said it's a completely different product. So what they have to do is cultivate a different audience for women's basketball than they have for men's.
And there's people who actually want to watch that, and so I think it's a great strength to be able to cater to that.
Yeah.
But coming up next, we have some soccer.
And the Buffaloes beat USC at home last weekend, and we stormed the court. Our smartest man in all of sports, Jack Stern, was there. Stick around.
We are the University of Colorado sailing team, and still the only college sailing team in Colorado. Last year, we traveled to 5 regattas and hosted our own using a fleet we bought with community support.
This year, we're raising money to purchase a safety boat that will take care of our sailors and lead effective practices to get them in tip-top shape to kick stern at regattas.
Weather changes happen quickly in Colorado, so we need to be prepared in case anyone ends up in the water. A safety boat with a proper engine will help make sure we can get people and boats to safety in the event of a capsize.
Safety is our team's top priority. and this boat will help us prepare for worst-case scenarios. This boat will put us on track for being the safest, the fastest, and the most effective team in our conference.
Donate today to help us reach our $4,000 goal and get CU Sailing motor boating. Share to everyone you know to spread the word. With your help, we'll be on our way to be a safer and more successful program.
The CU women's soccer team opened their season with a strong offensive game against the real Colorado boys. The Buffaloes ended up winning 4-0. The women will be back at it against Air Force at Prentice Field on April 7th.
From soccer, we turn to basketball,
where last Sunday we had our first court storming of the season at the CU Event Center.
The Buffaloes beat the USC Trojans, and Christina Robin spoke to some fans.
Folks, I'm Christina Robin reporting with BuffSports Live, and we're going to do Man on the Street. Let's talk to a couple Buffs. What can you tell me about this persona you're putting on?
Yeah, so I started during football. It was a Halloween game. I came in a costume, and then all my friends were like, yeah, you should put on a mask, start an Instagram, try and get Instagram famous, go to every single game, meet new people, grow the Instagram. That's what I've just been doing ever since then.
Why did you come to the CU Event Center today?
It's our last game, and we got to rep the Buffs. There's a slight chance we can still make the tourney, so I had to come and show my support.
My dad and I've had season tickets for about 20 years, and this is Allie's first game.
I feel like we've been having such a great end of the season, and the $1 tickets, so.
Do you come to a lot of games?
I can come when I have time to with school allowing, but yeah, I love to come and I try to come as much as I can.
Why don't I come to the rest of them? I don't know, they're Tuesday, Thursday nights, studying and stuff like that. It's kind of the only thing that gets in the way, really.
Why have you only been to 3 basketball games?
Well, as a college student, I'm very busy.
And who's your favorite player, even over the years, who brings you back?
Well, I miss Blair Wilson and Michelle Mirandis from back in the day. My favorite current Buff is McKinley Wright.
Batty, because he's got the bat in his name, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah? Favorite bird, spirit animal?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Probably Tyler Bay or McKinley Wright. Either one of them is fun to watch for different reasons. When Bay slams, it's just awesome, and then McKinley's just really good with the ball. So.
What was your favorite part about today's game?
Just the spirit. Everybody's always so excited. I love the band. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh man, phenomenal way to end the season. Buffs really played their hearts out. I've been here since day one, and just congrats to the team. Let's keep getting it.
Can you tell me a little bit about how it felt to cheer your last home game against USC?
It was pretty surreal, honestly. Just being here every single home game is just amazing, and to watch the Buffs really take home that win is awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely bittersweet. We've had so many great memories at CU Event Center over these 4 years. It really is surreal that we were already done 4 years later.
I'm Christina Robin reporting for BuffSports Live. Back to the desk.
And to fill you in on what happened in the actual game, here's the smartest man in all of sports, Jack Stern.
Student section, which was rocking throughout the Colorado Buffaloes' 78-67 victory over their conference rival USC Trojans here at the CU Event Center. It was senior day, and for senior Naaman Wright, it's been an injury-hampered, disappointing career for him since transferring from Mizzou. But after the game, his teammates said it was important for them to get a victory today because of him. Things didn't look as promising for Colorado early on. They trailed by double digits at points in the first half and 37-30 going into the locker room. But in the second half, Tyler Bay took over. He had 12 points after the break en route to his 5th straight double-double and 6th in the last 8 games. Evan Batty was able to stay out of foul trouble. He added 21 points in 25 minutes of play. Colorado heads into the Pac-12 tournament on a good note. They're riding a 3-game win streak, and as you guys know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's a place where funky things can happen, right? I'm Jack Stern, BuffSports Live.
Thanks, Jack. Tyler Bay and McKinley Wright have been named to the first team All-Pac-12, with Tyler Bay almost averaging a double-double during the regular season. Deshaun Schwartz was named to the All-Pac-12 academic team. He is a business major with a 3.28 grade point average. That is impressive. Great job, Ben.
Hey, Alexa?
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 Hey, Alexa.
What's going on this weekend, Alexa?
They were nervous and inexperienced, as new faces looking to achieve greatness. As the years went on, they grew confident in their abilities.
Maybe. Yes, sir!
Now they look to guide others in the same pursuit.
There it is! Can you believe it?
All are welcome to be featured on the biggest stage.
Is it his time?
We invite you to discover what you're capable of at BuffSports Live.
Hi, I'm Alexis Semino with this week's edition of Rapid Fire. The men's basketball team is out in the Sin City getting set to play the Washington Huskies. The Buffs have already faced the Huskies twice this season and came out short on both ends. We're hoping that third time's the charm. Be sure to tune in to the Pac-12 network to watch the game at 7 o'clock. The women's tennis team takes on the cross-state rival CSU Rams this Saturday in Fort Collins. The match will either be played at 2 p.m. if it's outside or 4 p.m. inside depending on weather conditions. Following the match in Fort Collins, the team will travel to head coach Daniel Steinberg's alma mater, Arizona, for her first appearance in the Pac-12 tournament. Both track and field teams open their season at home today with the hammer throw, javelin, and triple jump. The Buffs welcome teams from Air Force, Colorado Christian, Johnson & Wales, and Valley City State. You can tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. to catch the remainder of the field and running events. The women's lacrosse team will take on the 22nd ranked USC Trojans at home on Saturday. The game will be at Kittredge Field at 11 a.m. With the Pac-12 tournament coming up for most of our teams, it's important to get out to the games and support your Buffs. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Good luck to all our teams and Sco Buffs. Back to you.
And now for that answer to the trivia question that you've been all waiting for.
Yeah, remember our question for you this week was that $25 million admission scandal that we uncovered, that was uncovered not by us this week.
USC Senior Associate Athletic Director Donna Heinel was involved, and this week we asked you this.
How much money has that athletic director allegedly received over the last 8 years? And the answer? According to the LA Times, it's $1.3 million.
Heinel was the Chief Administrative Officer and Senior Women Administrator at USC. That is a lot of money, Vinay.
Would you go to jail for $1.3 million?
No, absolutely not. I'd hire a tutor and just get in, or some coach or whatever. I'd do it on my own.
Yeah, do what we do. Do what the rest of us do.
Do it on
Apply
our own.
and get rejected from USC.
I'm gonna come to see you. That's all we have for this week. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.